We're gonna be talking about the
last dream.
We'll be talking about the
Knife.
Do you think that's funny, butthead? Do you find it amusing that we'll be talking about the
OTK.
Yes, we're also gonna be talking about
+7+7. Chaos Blaster. Walk sign. Temmie.
and we will definitely be spending a lot of time talking about
Last Dream is the kind of card that some people love and other people seem to hate. Losing to it feels frustrating to say the least, but it can also be outplayed because of skill alone most of the time, and today I'm going to help you with that. There exist three main types of decks that can win through Last Dream. One is OTK, or one turn kill. That's the deck that uses Last Dream as the main source of damage. Two is aggro decks. They use Last Dream for +1/+1 boost, but they can also get some unexpected wins out of people who aren't aware. And three is tempo decks. They use self-damage cards to both apply offensive pressure and potentially trigger Last Dream. This is the most famous type, and it's also called Meso DT. I'm going to focus on this type alone. OTK Last Dream decks share a lot of the same weaknesses as all other OTK decks, and they deserve their own video. Aggro with Last Dream often only carries knives, and it's very easy to play around one single card if you just remember that it exists. Meso DT is both a unique and solid deck. It's also not a total gimmick. The variety of Last Dream triggers is equal to that of pure OTK, so it makes sense to use Meso DT as an example of dealing with Last Dream. But how exactly do you do it then? The most common misconception about Last Dream is that it basically wins the game when triggered. To that end, most people's way of countering Last Dream is just making it so that the opponent can't reach 1 HP, and playing around all the ways they can use to get there. But as we can see, it's just not possible for most decks. Maybe OTK or Royal Guards can manage to avoid this entire range, but these are pretty niche decks. So playing around every single way they can get to 1 HP is often either not feasible, or alters your gameplay so much that your deck doesn't function anymore, and you lose anyway. What you should do instead is you look at their hand size, the board, gold, and ideally, what cards they already played. A lot of the times, after taking all of this into account, you can conclude that in reality, you only need to play around one card setups, which is way easier than all of them. Additionally, if you think Last Dream is coming, you can try to deny their board, so that they will have no choice but to use charge monsters to attack you, and they might not have the gold or hand space required. There's also a little and very simple trick a lot of high-ranking players use to keep track of what the opponent played. It's the dust pile button. In most cases, monsters that are played on the board end up in the dust pile, so you can just press the dust pile button and check it from time to time. For example, if your opponent played all 3 Chaos Blasters, you don't have to worry about them anymore. Or you can see a Temmie but not Temmie 2, and that would be a reminder that you know one of the cards in the enemy hand. Of course, sometimes monsters get caught or transformed, but the vast majority of them does end up in the dust pile, so it's still a major help. All you really have to remember is Knife, Resurrection, and whether you saw a card with Lost Alphys cost reduction or not. But even with dust pile lifehack, this still might sound overwhelming. After all, that's a lot of variables. That's why for this video I played a few games with another legend player and former tester who happens to be quite experienced with Meso DT. I played Librarian Perseverance. Lib decks sometimes get called both versatile and generic, so I chose that to not lean into anything too specific.